Every man, woman, and child lives under a nuclear sword hung by a thread, capable of being cut at any moment by accident, miscalculation, or by madness. This is how John F. Kennedy addressed the nuclear crisis in 1961. 60 years later, the world still experiences a threat for nuclear war. Hello everyone, today I would like to persuade all of you to take immediate action to eliminate all nuclear warheads from this planet. So here's the problem. There are enough nuclear weapons today to destroy all of humanity. A nuclear weapon is a missile or a bomb that uses nuclear energy to create a huge explosion. And it only takes one to annihilate and level a city the size of New York. In an article by the Federation of American Scientists, or FAS, it is stated that there are approximately 13,890 nuclear weapons active today. We need to bring that number to as close to zero as possible. Right now I will show you a map of where the nuclear bombs are located today, which countries have them, and why it is so dangerous. It is dangerous because the United States, with 6,550 nuclear weapons, and Russia, with even more, 6,850, are rivals. They have not been friends for over 70 years, and their tension only intensifies. I would also like to point out that North Korea, with 15 nuclear weapons, just recently gained those in 2016 and 2017. Now that you know how many we have, I'd like to show you two pictures. Here's the first one. This is a picture of a city in Japan before it was bombed by one of the atomic bombs at the end of World War II. You can see homes, streets, bridges, all kinds of buildings, and it looks like a beautiful city. Now I'd like to show you how it looked like after. This is how it looks after. It looks like a desert. There are no homes, you can't see any structures standing out, and you could barely tell where the roads used to be. Safe to say that no one survived that. Nuclear weapons are a tremendous threat, not only to you and me, but every single living species on Earth. Because with only a few nuclear weapons used, millions of people may die, and the environment will unforgivably suffer. But, as always, there are multiple sides to everything. Some people, for example those that push for the production of nuclear weapons, advocate that it is a good idea for us to have nuclear weapons because it's an effective way to keep our peace with other countries. If one nation, for example, has nuclear weapons, why would anyone else want to attack us, right? Well, even though it makes sense, I disagree with this because in the case that a nuclear war does break out, then humanity is already at a huge risk of going extinct. Furthermore, mistakes happen, and they have happened before. In an article published by Atomic Archives in 2015, since 1950 there have been 32 nuclear accidents, either by accidental firings or by loss or theft of nuclear weapons, and some of those actually happened inside the United States. So here's a solution. We need more people to raise the awareness of this problem. You could do this by reading books or watching documentaries and sharing it with others. You could even participate in a movement or a protest to show the government that your views on this dangerous weapon. Creating awareness will pressure the government to take action in decreasing their numbers, and in turn other countries with nuclear weapons will hopefully do the same. This has worked before. For example, in an article called "The Nuclear Policy for All," Dr. Benedict states that in the 1980s, the U.S. nuclear freeze movement protested the building of nuclear weapons by outreach and with education. Groups like these pressured the government in 1983 to initiate a freeze act, which halted all nuclear production, and it even affected the nuclear production in the Soviet Union, which was a great thing. This kind of solution is sure to work today because we still live in the same democracy, and the more people the government hears, the more effect it will bring. Now imagine the chaos. Imagine the chaos that will unfold in America when every single person that has a phone receives a notification from the government that there is a nuclear warhead coming straight for America, and no one knows where it will land. It could land in New York City, it could land in Los Angeles, it could even land in Seattle. Now, on the other hand, imagine that we did take action, and the government stopped all production of nuclear weapons and decreased their numbers to zero, and other countries did as well. Everything that you have worked for during your life will be worth something, and that is what we want to see. My goal with this speech is not to scare you, it was to persuade you to take immediate action. Please take time to educate yourself and others by reading books or watching documentaries and sharing them with other people about this conflict. You could even join a movement and participate in protests to persuade the government to stop and put a freeze on nuclear growth. Because if you don't, nuclear weapons will continue to exist and eventually they will be used. But if you do, then, well, you will cause the change that this planet will thank forever. Thank you for taking time and listening to what I have to say. Good luck.